Well, this is emotionally devastating. I wanted to sit here and be like, hey, did you know the best Starscream figure ever has been made? And it was from the Studio Series, no less. And it's not even supposed to be Starscream. But yeah, no, I can't do that. This figure has issues. It's got serious issues. Yes, indeed, I've got Studio Series Blitzwing. That's Studio Series, not Starscream, to literally everyone on Earth. And I gotta say, despite everything else, this robot mode looks amazingly good. This is a gorgeous robot mode. I showed this to my brother the other night, and he was like, it's incredible how much cooler the Bumblebee designs are than the rest of the movies. And yeah, it's kind of weird because the Bumblebee designs still shared a ton with the other movies, but they look so striking and cool, and I'm almost unsure what changed to make them look this much better. I really think it comes down to just stronger color layout, more heroic proportions, and recognizable humanoid heads. If you didn't know and weren't told, you'd have never guessed this was Starscream, this was Ironhide, and this was Jetfire. But glance at this and you'd swear it was Starscream. I mean, technically you'd be wrong, but come on. We all know you're right. The only reason this isn't Starscream is because he died. And I mean, looking like the character it's supposed to be is one thing, but completely unconnected from that, this guy just looks cool. But enough of me gushing about the look of this guy and complaining about how the characters from the other movies look. Let's start in Jet mode. Why? Because reasons. So I got a question. Why is this absolutely, blatantly the wrong kind of jet? The jet he was in the movie had wings that attached to the underside and a tail that sat proud. This is basically the exact opposite of that, with the wings on top and the tail sitting beneath the wing line. This is also just kind of a dorky looking jet. The nose cone is a million miles from cool and is held on by little more than spit and hope. I also don't much care for how the jet mode just kind of stops before the tail. Like, it just drops down, turns to Kibble City, then becomes a war fin tail, which is also not movie accurate. I have to question why they did this double central fin thing. We have had splitting tail fins for decades, so this really comes across as a choice. And the underside is pure chaos distilled. Like, Jesus. Really can't tell where the robot is though, so that's something. Transformation is, a ball ache. Some of it's pretty fun and cool. I think I detect a little Titan's Return Cup DNA in the legs, but some of it, one of it, this part, is hell. You have 0% leeway on getting clearance for the head to slot through, and a very particular order of operations, and there is absolutely no tactile feedback that you have it right. It's either just going to go, or more likely it's not going to go, and you just have no idea what changed to allow the parts to slip past each other. And with that, we're back to this super cool robot mode, and it is super cool. Too bad about this. Watch this. I'm going to rotate his arm forward. Look, the joint on his arm may be crazy tight, but there is no excuse for this. There is no worldly reason the act of moving the arm forward should have transform it back into vehicle mode. The problem is that the chest doesn't tab into the body anywhere. It doesn't lock in at all. Instead, the wings have tabs that are supposed to lock into the shoulders, but that leaves it like 2 steps removed from locking in where it should. And they fucked up with the direction of the tabs. The tabs should have been wide, not tall. These tall tabs sit in line with the rotational force the shoulders give it, meaning that they are practically designed to slip out when you move the arms. Had the tabs been horizontal, they would have been strong against the kind of rotation the shoulders inflict on them. The only way to get the figure to not unpeg when using the arms is to remember to grip it by the chest and the back of the wings at the same time and pinch the two together very hard when rotating at the shoulder. But if that were the end of this guy's problem, then, well, he'd still have real fucking problems. But he's also got these problems. The wingtips just pop off if you look at them funny. His missiles are also parts forming pieces, and honestly, with the other troubles this guy has, I just can't bring myself to care about this. Normally, parts forming is a deal breaker for me, but this guy's issues dwarf the parts forming to the point where it just doesn't even matter anymore. I just threw them in a bin and forgot about them. He's got interesting hands though. For some reason, one of them has a hinge at the center, allowing you to splay it wide. I don't know why the other doesn't also do this. They also pop off, allowing you to put in the all-time dumbest melee weapon. It's like a spike on a dull spade. Why though? Would anyone have complained if his hand turned into a giant version of Rambo's knife and he just slashed Bumblebee across the throat? Or if he just reached in and tore out his vocal cords with his bare hands? Anyone? This is ugly and stupid and I hate it. As silly as it sounds, this stupid hand weapon makes this scene the worst in the movie for me. Anyways, he's also got his gun. Real talk. I hate handguns. I hate them so much. Not only are they ugly, they also just ruin tension. Because if they exist, you can't ever disarm someone. The Autobots can't ever be held at someone's mercy and have it be realistic because they can just shoot their captors with their hands. Plus, they just look lame. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. In spite of all my grievances with the figure, he can pose strikingly. Look, if you're buying this for robot mode for a display where you're going to have it set up once and not touch it again, you are going to get what you want out of this. And even then, the 3A figure is probably a better bet. But if you want to buy it for how it handles, this isn't going to be your cup of tea. It's frustrating, the alt mode just ain't worth it, and I can't help but feel disappointed. Bonus review! Today, I bought a corpse, and I wanted to talk about it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I picked up the character whose lot in life seems to be to die within minutes of being introduced. It's Bumblebee Cliffjumper. This figure's okay. Cliffy J was never one of the more attractive designs from the movie, and I would not be surprised if this is given a new head and a yellow paint job, and just bashed out as a Cybertronian alt-mode Bumblebee any day now. Transformation feels like raw, unfiltrated chaos, but there isn't a bit where you are screaming to God, why is this not working? So it's better than Blitzwing's, though getting everything tabbed in and situated where it needs to be can be a bit of a pain in the ass. This transformation literally took me 5 minutes to complete. He ends up as this absolute shoe of a car. I don't know, I feel like there isn't much to talk about with this guy. He neither looks dope as hell, nor does he have any trouble or standout success in articulation, and outside of the kind of chaotic transformation, there isn't really anything noteworthy to say. And the character's an absolute nobody. Gone are the days of the world's biggest jobber with an attitude, Cliffjumper. We now live in the he's a big enough name while not being important enough to spare that the viewer should care when we kill him off even though we don't develop him at all world. Nope, no one cares, this is not a character. And that's not half of what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. Anyways, I know you know what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.